African Safari Wildlife Park is a wild experience with over 800 exotic animals. Our drive-through safari features giraffes, zebras, deer, elk, alpacas, and even a white bison, all of which you can feed right from your vehicle. Walk on the wild side with a Zoo-It-All pass and feed kangaroos, porcupines, tortoises, and rabbits. Step into our aviary adventure and hand-feed budgies for a memorable experience. Check out our live educational shows or ride a camel. Create memories that will last a lifetime at the Ohio Safari Park, African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton.
Well, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The Morning Show right here on our new Main Street TV. And, of course, Jennifer here with her good friend, Pete Wilson, to start off our work week with the morning news update. And, of course, that's always brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs, please call Nia, 740-418-4135, and she'll be out working hard for you. As we say, Pete Wilson's always out working hard for the news.
Okay, well, yeah. we do have a stack to work through here, and we know we've got
a lot.
We know we've got a special guest coming.
I think we do.
Right, Roger Donaldson with the Jackson City Library will be here presently. And of course, if you don't know, the library is a fun place during the summer. They know that the kids are off from school, and so they line up all sorts of activities. And I'm sure Roger will go down the list, and there's a number of them. I know that for sure. But as far as the news is concerned, without a doubt, Jennifer, one of the big stories happening locally is the decision that was handed down from the State Employment Relations Board. That is an Ohio governmental board that rules on labor issues involving public employees. And behind the scenes, there has been an issue in the city of Jackson that's gone on for over a year. We remember back at the beginning of 2020, Mayor-elect Randy Evans wanted to do an employee reorganization program, and it was going to start with a reorganization of the city's management employees who have been referred to as supervisors, and that's of the different departments and so forth. Way back in 2004, that union formed between two different administrations. I think at the time they were worried when it went from one mayor to another. They were worried about job security because they were non-union employees, and so they formed the union. A little unusual. A lot of times you don't have quote management employees in a union, but you can obviously do it, or at least you could do it then, and they did it. Well, the city wanted to do this reorganization, and it was carried through last year. And what happened was all of those management employees, known as supervisors or superintendents, and I'm using both of those terms because one side uses one term and one side uses another.
Okay.
And apparently there is a significance there. But anyway, these management employees were rehired under the titles of department heads, basically doing what they had done before, but having, as non-union employees, a little bit more ability to do some management things that they couldn't do as union employees because, of course, they were over employees who were in another union, and supposedly this created some restrictions and problems and like that. Well, not too long after this was done, in 2020, which was, of course, the first year of the new administration for the city, an unfair labor practice complaint was filed with this Ohio the State Employment Relations Board, challenging whether this action was right and lawful.
Okay.
There was also out of that. There was another complaint involving one of those management employees, and that was Robin Putker, who had been in charge of the cemetery and also had other duties as well.
I knew Robin.
Well, it took some time, but an initial decision, I guess we could say, came down officially on June the 3rd, and we reported it in detail in our Saturday paper with the front page story. That story, by the way, is online on our website, thetelegrammnews.com, and we also have a link to Facebook. But that decision came down strongly on the side of the union in the one complaint, and of Robin Putker on the related complaint.
Okay.
And The issue before SERB was whether the city violated state law by substantially eroding the bargaining unit, which was Local 410, through reassignment of most of the bargaining unit employees and bargaining unit work to newly created non-bargaining unit positions as part of a reorganization. The separate matter involving Robin Putker was, did the layoff of Robin Putker, who will happen to be the local union vice president, did this discriminate against her, and was it lawful? In both cases, the administrative judge, and he does work for SERB, his name is Raymond Geis, he ruled in favor of the union on the one case involving Local 410, and he also ruled in favor of Putker on the other. In both cases, in the proposed order, among other things, he established that Local 410, the union, involving those management employees, that the local still existed. Just because the city did a reorganization, that doesn't mean the union and the rights disappeared. Just because there was a new contract that was to be approved at the end of 2019, a continuing contract between the parties. And the council in late 2019 rejected that contract at the request of Mayor-elect Evans, so he could deal with, since he was going to be in as mayor on January 1st the very next year, they agreed that this should be his baby to deal with as he wanted. So the contract was never approved, and basically a reorganization started, and the contract was rejected, and the thought was, I'm sure on the administration side, was that now there is no union because we didn't approve the contract. Well, apparently, according to SERB, that doesn't eliminate the union just because you reject the contract and you ignore the fact that union was there. And so, as a result of all that, the city, one of the conclusions reached by Judge Geis is that the union is still there, and that if his decision holds, the union positions have to be restored, and these employees will have the chance, these management employees, to return in their union positions as superintendents or supervisors. Also, the judge ruled that Robin Putker, who was laid off unlawfully, should be given her job back as a management employee with all the back pay and all like that. Now, this is not necessarily the final decision. This is called a proposed order. If the city wants to file what are called exceptions to challenge any parts of this proposed order, they can do that with SERB, and a 3-member board of SERB made up of attorneys would decide whether there are any legitimate complaints in these exceptions, and it could alter the orders partially or completely. If the city files exceptions and SERB stands by the proposed orders from Judge Geis, then the city could take it to a common pleas court, to a regular court. So it's not necessarily over, and it's
this sounds like a nightmare, Pete.
The proposed order is certainly adverse to the city. There's no question about it, because it would basically undo everything that they did in 2020. This was proposed by Mayor Evans, and it was approved unanimously by City Council. They obviously felt, on the city leadership side, that this was something that should be done for the good of the city, and that they felt that they could do it. They certainly had the advice of a labor relations attorney.
Well, that was going to be
every step of the way.
What I asked you. I mean, somebody has to be representing the city and telling them that what their idea was okay. I mean, you don't just willy-nilly come up with this stuff on your own. So, wow, this is a lot.
Right, exactly. And so, I mentioned the supervisors versus superintendents thing. In the city's legislation, and when they talk and so forth, they refer to these management employees as supervisors. And in the SERB handbook, and I had a copy of it, it says that supervisors, are considered management employees, and they do not fall under the normal public collective bargaining rights that other other rank and file employees would have. However, the union side, they've reached out to me and said that they should never have been called supervisors or referred to as supervisors. It's superintendents. So now, you're talking about doing the same job, but are they supervisors or are they superintendents?
Right. Do you say tomato and I say tomato? Like, what's the...
Right. It's kind of along those lines right there. But this is something that bears very much importance to the city as we go forward on what is decided. Maybe at the next level and the level after that. Tonight, City Council is scheduled to meet, and they are to be briefed by Andrew Esposito, who is their labor attorney out of a Dublin law firm, and Mayor Randy Evans. I talked to him. He did not want to make a comment or a response until after he hears from the labor attorney tonight. And so they will hear, the city council and Mayor Evans and the administration will hear from the labor attorney tonight about their options, and I'm sure they'll get an explanation from the labor attorney on what was handed down in the proposed orders and what that means and what the city's options are going forward if they want to contest this.
Okay.
So we will see, but this is just probably the first story in this. But for the city of Jackson, it is a big thing. In the meantime, I'm sure it'll operate just as normal with those employees now called department heads doing their jobs in the basic departments.
Hey, can I say something really nice for a minute? And so yesterday afternoon, about 2 o'clock, Jamie and I were at the house and got a call from the staff at the brewery that said, our power just went out. And I said, well, that's not unusual, just wait. And they're like, no, like, it's out here and it's not out anywhere else. Like, the restaurant's on, the street lights are on, like, and we were like, oh, we'll be right there. So I wasn't sure what to do, so I called the police department, and they dispatched the electric guys out, and through just, they are so awesome. So our good friend Wayne Mercer, and God forbid I have to say anything nice about my good friend Matt Mahoney, because he and I tease each other a lot. But both showed up on the scene, had it back up and running in no time. It was a fuse or something. And I just want to thank those guys because they spent their Sunday afternoon up. But all I could think of was losing all these beers that are in tanks because, it's climate controlled. It has to be at a certain temperature and whatever. But they busted their rear ends, got it fixed in no time. And I did want to give a shout out to the City Electric guys for, having to come. There they are. Yeah. There they are fixing. That's Matt up in the thing with his pole. I don't know. Those guys are crazy is what I'm just going to tell you. Like, literally, they're insane. Anybody that messes with electric like that is insane.
Well, it's a potentially dangerous job, and they do receive, a lot of safety training there. But
yeah, but still.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's not just like, you kind of get a little bite. Like, that's like scary stuff. So anyway.
Well, nobody's perfect, and sometimes if you make mistakes out of inattention or carelessness, you can't afford to make a mistake when you're doing that kind of work, obviously.
Correct. Absolutely. Right. But anyway, I did want to give a shout out to those guys. They were there in no time, and they didn't. I mean, I know it's their job, but they also need to be thanked because it could have been potentially very, very disastrous. Let's put it that way.
Right, and also at the city council meeting tonight, Jennifer. Of course, there's always a lot of issues that come before council, new and old and continuing. Mm-hmm. And we've certainly talked about it here on the air, and you and Karina have as well. Mm-hmm. We've had an article in the paper explaining the situation. But the second reading of a resolution that involves a extended contract between Jackson County Broadcasting Incorporated, which is the name of the preceding contracts. That's why it's there as opposed to Total Media. That will be before council tonight.
That's right. So if anybody, if you have anything to say about us remaining on the air on your Spectrum 1020 channel, because it's I mean, this is just my opinion, pretty much looking like we're at a standoff, and I don't think the council has any intention of continuing on with our contract. And if that's the case, so be it. But we will not be on the air anymore. If you have any say of that, or would like to address the council, we certainly would encourage you to show up at the meeting tonight. And one way or the other, if you hate our guts, cool, show up at the meeting and tell them that too. Like, totally fine. But participate, and it's your right to participate. So.
Right. Well, legislation, Jennifer, normally has what they call 3 readings. It's set up that way so things aren't done in a hurry, and there's a chance for public input and like that. In this case, I think the issue is out there, but this technically is the 2nd reading, which would mean that if it's going to be passed tonight, it would have to be passed with an emergency clause vote, which requires 6 out of the 7 votes, so that doesn't happen as easily. If they would have a 2nd reading tonight with no resolution, no statement of intent or whatever, so you know where it's going or it's not going, the definitive vote would come at the next council meeting, which would be June the 28th. However, that is 2 days after the contract expires.
Right.
So at the very least, even if it turns in our favor, we might be in the dark for a day or 2.
That's right. So there's a whole lot of involved behind the scenes. I'm still checking on some things, but anyway, if you would like to show up and support us, we would be greatly appreciated.
All right. Well, moving on to something lighter and happier, the Jackson County Fair Queens contest was held over the weekend. It was on Saturday evening out at the OSU Jackson County Extension Office. And they picked not only the queen, and there they are, there's all the young ladies and young gentlemen who will represent as the royalty of the 2001 Jackson County Fair, and included in there is some of the royalty of the 2020 Jackson County Fair, because they had a part in the proceedings. But at this contest, it was actually a multi-part contest, because they started in the afternoon picking the Little Miss and Little Mister.
Okay.
And they went through the grade level attendance, starting with grades 3 through 4, all the way through grades 9 and 10, and then they went to the Queen contest. Okay, the new Queen, the 2021 Jackson County Fair Queen, drum roll if you haven't heard, is a young lady who certainly paid her dues. Her name is Presley Sexton.
Yes.
She's the daughter of Jamie and Misty Sexton, who have been so instrumental behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, doing a lot of work at the fair, along with many other volunteers. But Presley has been a grade level attendant along the way, and here is the sweet thing about it. She is the first Little Miss Jackson County Fair to become the fair. This picture was taken in 2011.
Okay. It's baby Presley.
That's baby Presley, and she is with Jessica Taylor, who was the first attendant back in 2011, 10 years ago. And Jessica, as an adult, I think she works at OVB now. She's still very active helping with the fair. So she was there last night to see her little queen become the big queen.
How cute.
And so, just a lot of nice events, a lot of nice happenings and nice moments happening just as you know, these girls and these young men in the Little Mister contest became royalty. And one of the other nice moments came when Grace Callahan, who is a 7th grader, was named the grades 7 and 8 attendant. And that's her on the left, and she's getting a big hug. This was spontaneous. Right after she got named, she got a big hug from her big sister, Madison Callahan. Can you tell they're sisters there?
A little bit, yeah.
Right. Madison was the fair queen just a couple years ago.
Yes, she was.
And so I'm sure that she felt really great about little sister Grace getting on there. But there were all sorts of things like that happening. And myself was there, along with our new full-time intern, Trevor Bailey. He was there, and we kind of did a tag team on that. We want to thank Angie Sexton-Eisenagel, who is kind of like the liaison for the fair board, doing the Queen stuff.
She does a lot of the Queen stuff.
It went very well. It was a big thing to organize all that going on at one night. Our man James Hamilton was there, doing what he does so well, doing some video, and we are going to actually have of the video on the following the show today of the
That's
of,
right.
of the Big Queens contest. Not everything, but the Big Queens contest.
That's right. It's about a half an hour long, so says James, and we will air that directly following our show today.
Right.
So we're super excited about
Right,
that.
right, and that is also, another way to see it is we have it posted on our Facebook, both the Total Media or the Channel 15 or no Channel 15, the Main Street TV Facebook, and also the Telegram Facebook, so you can see it that way as well. But some of the other folks we want to mention, their names. Presley Sexton, of course, is the Queen. The first attendant is Mackenzie Lewis of Oak Hill. The second attendant is Emily Ann Ross of Wellston. The grade level attendants, grades 9 and 10 attendant, Jasmine Clark of Wellston. The 7th and 8th grade attendant, as we said, is Grace Callahan of Jackson. The 5th, 6th grade attendant is Addison Daly of Jackson, and she is the daughter of Aaron Daly, the longtime 4-H agent here in Jackson. The 3rd and 4th grade attendant is Reagan Farr, and the new Little Miss is Spencer Osborne, and the Little Mister is Kipton Kelly. So we'll be hearing and seeing a lot about them. And I've talked with Angie Sexton-Eisnagel. I think we're going to get the royalty up here on TV here very soon.
Fantastic.
All right, of course, the Jackson County Fair scheduled for July the 16th through the 26th, and the royalty will be crowned officially on the opening ceremonies of the fair, which is scheduled for 4 p.m. on Sunday, July the 18th. All right, as far as the COVID-19 front goes, the Jackson County Health Department has announced opportunities for vaccinations. They are going to be doing a walk-in clinic next Saturday, that's June the 19th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Health Department. You do not need an appointment. You can just show up and come in whenever you want from during that period, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and get that COVID shot. Anybody 12 years of age and up can get a Pfizer, Moderna, or a Johnson & Johnson vaccine. There is an administration fee that will be billed if you have health insurance, but if you don't have health insurance, you will get that COVID shot free. And of course, if you're insured, you're not paying for it. The health insurance carrier is paying for it. Nothing out of pocket ever. So please don't be discouraged about cost as far as getting that vaccine. There will also be appointment opportunities coming up this week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to noon, and then again in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. And then on Thursday, same times, 10 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. until, well, on Thursday, they'll be extending it to 6:45 p.m. for the convenience of working folks. And now on those, you need to make an appointment with the health department. If you come in on either Tuesday or Thursday, the number there is 740-286-5094. But on next Saturday, you can just walk in.
Just walk in.
You don't even have to call ahead of time. All right, the Jackson Firefighters Association has announced some of their plans for the 4th of July. Yes, they're going to do everything that they normally do, and they've got the go-ahead from the Jackson County Health Department that they can pretty much do it normal.
Oh,
As far as the social distancing and the mask and so forth. But the Jackson 4th of July celebration is always on July the 3rd.
Yes.
Everything will be on the 3rd except for the Jackson Chamber of Commerce's 5K, which they are doing this year. That will be on the 4th. But the Jackson 4th of July celebration, of course, the big thing will be the fireworks. It will be at 10 p.m. The Zambelli Fireworks of Newcastle, Pennsylvania will be doing it, about an 18 to 20 minute show. WKOV 96.7 FM, that's us. We will be there to do a remote and to provide the background music during the fireworks. But the fireworks, it's a $10,000 show, and the money for this comes from donors in the community, business and individuals, and also from a grant from the City Tourism Board.
Right.
But in addition to the fireworks, there will also be a parade at 8 p.m. from the downtown area out to Manpower Park. The Jackson Area Kiwanis Club will be there in the park to do kids' activities, and there will also be concessions in the park as well. And it's a little early to talk about this, but we can confirm the firefighters wanted, to get the word out that Pig Iron Day would happen this year. It will be on the first Saturday in August.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
always a good one,
August
too.
the 7th.
Good food.
Excuse me. Also,
What day is the 4th of July or 3rd of July this year?
The 4th is on a Sunday.
So it's on a Saturday?
The 3rd is the
The
3rd is Saturday. The 4th is Sunday.
excuse me, but July, I do
We've
like,
lost Pete.
I'm trying to come back. But July the 3rd, July the 3rd will be on Saturday, and the fireworks in Vinton County will be on the 3rd. The fireworks in Wellston will be on the 3rd. And the fireworks in Oak Hill, I have confirmed, a lot of details have yet to be announced, but I've heard from Tammy McCain, who works with the boosters down there, it will be July the 4th on Sunday.
Okay.
So all on the weekend this time.
Nice to see that stuff coming back, you know.
Right, and the Wilkesville will have their 4th of July parade on Sunday, July the 4th. Registration at noon, and the parade will start at 1 o'clock. Also, the Jackson County Republican Party will be having their Lincoln Day dinner. Often this is in the spring, but it can move around depending on when they want to have it and when a speaker is available. But this year it's going to be a summer event.
We're going to save you, Pete.
Thank you, Jenna Smalley. She has really come in handy her very first day here at
She's
work.
been here for 5 minutes and saved Pete's life already. Yes, and you'll get to meet Jenna here.
Right, and let me do an endorsement for Kroger Purified Drinking Water. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Kroger. Thank you, James, because he ordered Jenna to do it. All right. Okay, the Lieutenant Governor John Husted will be the speaker. So they've got a high-profile speaker for Lincoln Day dinner. That's
Pretty
going
cool.
to be on June the 24th, Thursday, June the 24th, and it will be at 6 p.m. At the Family Life Center of the Christ United Methodist Church. It will be $25 a ticket, and you can get more information on the Jackson County Republican Party's Facebook page. But John Husted, of course, is the Lieutenant Governor. He was former Secretary of State, former state legislator. Of course, he's been very much in the news lately because he's been out there with Governor DeWine on all the coronavirus information. He has especially addressed economic development issues during this whole time. All right, since we talked to you last time, there's been construction out at Hothead's Burrito. Hothead Burrito, there you see some of the construction that was taking place late last week. It looks like that they're setting up for patio seating and a window pickup there on the right side of the building. That would be the east side of the building as you look at it. That is in McCarty Crossing, of course, and they're going to be where Armed and Ready and the GNC stores were, right on that end of the store, or right on that end of the mall towards the Walmart store. So, Hothead Burritos, construction actually starting. They are hoping for an August opening, so we'll be watching that. Of course, we want to once again tell you about Holler. Holler is taking place at the Tri-City Theater, and we've talked about it at length already on the TV, but such a big deal. Jackson High School graduate from the class of 2003, Nicole Riggle. She's gone to California, and she is realizing a dream to be a director in Hollywood.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty darn cool.
She's got a full-length film that is set in Jackson, partially filmed in Jackson, and it is really about Jackson and some social issues in the Appalachian area. And so you see, if you go to this film, you'll see a lot of scenery from Jackson that will be familiar to you, and even some of the cast members in some of the smaller roles are local people from Jackson and Chillicothe. So you want to see that. It's at the Tri-City Theater. It opened last weekend on a Friday. It will be continuing this week. The weekday schedule, I know there's one showing each day at 7:30 p.m. Of course, Tri-City out there on East Main Street. Just turn in there where La Rosa's Pizzeria is and go down the hill, and you're there.
I don't know the dates and times, but it's at Silver Screen 7 in Gallipolis also.
Oh, okay.
Right, another opportunity there. I know that Nicole Riggle, she's never forgotten her hometown. She wanted to make sure that it was going to be available here in Jackson, and it is. So we heartily encourage you to go see it.
Yep. And I think Nicole will be visiting here pretty soon, so we'll look forward to that as well.
Right, and the Tri-City Popcorn top notch. Top notch. All right.
Do you put butter on your popcorn?
Oh, heavy.
See, I love butter, but I just don't do the butter on the popcorn at the movie theater. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Why don't you do that?
I don't
Are
know.
you health conscious?
No.
Please don't
it's just,
say that. You'll make me feel guilty.
Oh, no. No, it's not anything to do with that. I don't know. I think it's delicious the way it is.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, there was another great moment this weekend. It happened at the Jenkins Care Community.
Yes, I saw this.
Did you see that?
So good.
At 1 o'clock over at the Jenkins Care Community, there's a young lady there named Fama Roberts who was 100 years old. I think her birthday was actually on Saturday. So Fama had a 100th birthday, and she is a former resident of Vinton County, lived just east of Wilkesville, between Wilkesville and the community of Vinton and Gallia County. And she's been at Jenkins Care for some time. But she had a birthday, and she has got an active motorcycle endorsement. She used to ride a motorcycle all the time. I don't think she does now, but she does have an active motorcycle endorsement. But Brian Jarvis, who is a real sweetheart, he's the president of the Apple City Motorcycle Club. He heard about it. He heard about it. He wanted to take other motorcyclists with him to give Fama a bouquet of roses, and if she wanted to give her a ride on the motorcycle.
Yay!
And there he's doing just that. That's Ben Jarvis behind the wheel, and behind him is the birthday girl herself, Fama Roberts. And Fama was a little unsure about getting a motorcycle, but when she got on, they spun around the parking lot. She had a good time, smile on her face, and she said, "Brian, where are we going?" And he said, "No, we're just going around the parking lot." If she wanted to go somewhere, that he probably would have taken her.
I'd say he would have taken her wherever she wanted to go.
Of course, they had a big birthday party inside with the family. Her son, who was 80 years old from Florida, came back for the occasion. Actually, him in the background, smiling as he sees his mom getting a very special gift on her birthday.
So good.
All right. Well, we want to also congratulate Caitlin Brisker, who is, of course, Oak Hill High School graduate, did a great job playing basketball and softball at the University of Rio Grande. She made that transition so easy in the classroom and as an athlete. All Caitlin did as a freshman to be named to the NAIA All-American softball team as a freshman. How about that? All he did was hit 446. 446. That's better than Ted Williams. 446, 8 triples, 59 runs scored, 15 stolen bases, 797 slugging percentage. So Caitlin Brisker, All-American.
You go, girl.
Our is off to you. Local girl makes good at the University of Rio Grande.
Awesome. Our kids are just awesome around here.
All right, and we wanted to tell you there's a lot of summer food programs going on where kids in need and kids who just want to have a lunch can get it. A lot of different places. One place is very close to us, Jennifer. The Christ United Methodist Church. They do a food fun program for local children who are 18 years and younger, and their families can come. Activities takes in the Family Life Center there on Portsmouth Street in Jackson. This started on June the 9th and will continue through at least July. You can also do drive-through service. And also do some activities for some of the younger kids when they're beyond just having food for them. The theme of the program here is Heroes of the Bible, and so they get some Christian indoctrination and teaching there. So very nice that the Christ United Methodist Church does. And we're going to be doing a little more research on all the food program going on because the opportunities are out there for the families who are in need. And also these days, a lot of you have single family households, moms and dads working, and they need to have this service.
They do.
And that during the school year, but then there's this gap in summer where the kids need care and they need fed at noon.
They do, and yeah, it's there's a lot of kids out there that have to fend for themselves, obviously, and this is a good thing to know that they have a place to go.
All right. Also, if you passed by Manpower Park yesterday, you saw a lot of activity.
I did.
And what was going on
Yes.
was a benefit for the Jim Malone and his
Yes.
wife Sherry.
Yep.
Jim Malone is a very well-known Jackson area resident who is really in the fight for his life right now
He
with
is.
cancer. And Sherry, his wife, she left her job at Kroger to help care for him and do all those things. And yesterday, friends set up benefit over Manpower, and they at least they had good weather for part of it.
They did.
But they, on one part they had a Jeep ride, on another part they had a motorcycle ride. These are at least 20 motorcyclists that are leaving Manpower. They went south towards Lawrence County. I think the Jeeps went north towards Ross County or Vinton County, and so they had a great event there. They had a Chinese auction. In the middle of the Chinese auction, thunderstorm came, and so
that thing came out of nowhere last
well,
night.
it was kind of on the radar. You knew it might be coming, but yes, it did come in rather suddenly because
Man.
it looked like the weather in the early afternoon. They might be able to have that event with worrying about storm. But we're going to hear more from Deanna Bragg a little bit later how successful that was. But they also had food service there, and the organizers were so thankful. I mean, it's one thing to get the volunteers out. It's one thing to get people to come out and pay to take a Jeep ride, pay to do motorcycle. All that is important. But then a lot of businesses step up and donate things. They donate supplies, they donate food or whatever.
Right.
And we're going to be able to recognize them when we get that list. We should never take things for granted.
For sure.
Small towns pull together for folks in need,
we
and
did.
they certainly did that.
Community.
For Jim and Sherry yesterday. Okay, as we look ahead tonight, we talked to the Jackson City Council tonight, but also Austin City Board of Education will be meeting. This is a regular meeting for them. It will be at Wellston High School at 7 p.m. They had a meetings earlier this year that were not open to the public and were held virtually. But this meeting is open to the public, and it is at the high school. Also, I want to tell you that we have heard from the county engineer that a section of Limerick Road, that's a thoroughfare in Liberty and Jackson Township. In Liberty Township, there will be a section of it closed starting next Monday, June the 21st, bridge replacement project. This usually takes a little bit of time, of course. The closing location is 2 miles north of Valley Chapel Road and will last approximately at least 2 weeks, depending on the weather. Also, the folks at the Oak Food Pantry has let us know that they are resuming regular distributions. The regular hours are today, Monday to the day, to go to the Oak Food Pantry if you have needs or want to make a donation. It's 10 a.m. to noon, and the food pantry is located right there in downtown Oak Hill, right off East Main Street. Also, the Southeast Ohio Food Bank will be hosting food distribution for Jackson County residents. That's going to be on Tuesday, June the 22nd. This will go 10 a.m. to noon at the Jackson County Fairgrounds. This is a big food distribution event, so listen up. Food items will be given to families who are residents of Jackson County in 230% of the federal poverty guidelines. You'll need to have a photo ID and proof of residency. Registration is required for this event, so this is very important that we're telling you about this ahead of time. To pre-register, to the website freshtrack.com and enter your Jackson County zip code. Fresh Track is spelled FRESSHTRAK.com. And remember, you have to pre-register ahead of time, and 200% of the federal poverty lines does include an awful lot of folks.
Yes,
so
it
this
does.
isn't just for a few folks. This should affect a lot of folks. You can also call the Southeast Ohio Food Bank for more
Pete and
information.
Jim, I want to interrupt you real quick. We're having a little bit of an audio issue on 1020. I do apologize to people.
Okay.
And let them know that we'll try and figure that out and fix it for tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. Just hit it with a hammer.
Well, we'll wait until we finish
Okay.
to smash things.
All right. Also, the Oak Hill Public Library, they opened recently, Jennifer, to
Yes.
the public
Yeah.
for in-person live things, and where you go in the library and do things. They'll be holding virtual summer reading story programs throughout the month of June. Who's interested should look for these activities on the Facebook page. The library, though, is open to the public. You can go in and get library service, check out books, get on the computer, whatever. Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. each of those weekdays, and then on Saturday, 30 a.m. to 2. The Kona Ice folks are going to be in Boston this Wednesday to benefit Opera Christmas Child. They will be at the R.M. Williams funeral service. That's at 120 West Broadway in Jackson. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Operation Christmas Child, the shoebox project. That is where shoe boxes are packed, and there's to poor and families all over this globe.
Pretty cool.
And so enjoy it for a very good cause. The Oak Hill Chamber of Commerce normally meets on this day. They're not meeting today, so if you were heading that way, interested in the meeting, they have canceled it. Summer vacation, I guess. The chamber folks were very busy on June 5th because they did that Amish showcase in the community yard sale. Great volunteers there in Wellston. Right. If you noticed all the flags, you know why, Jennifer, don't you? Why the flags are out?
Flag.
Right. It's not just practice for the 4th of July. It is Flag Day.
Yep.
And, it's not a national holiday. People don't get off work or anything, but the flags come out. Just kind of show a patriotism, kind of like attention for the flag, due attention. But there are some Flag Day activities going on, and one of them is open to the public. American Legion Post 71 Boston, down South Pennsylvania. They will be conducting Flag Day ceremony tonight at 7 p.m. That's at 1001 South Pennsylvania Avenue. The public is welcome to attend. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts will be participating in the ceremony along with Post Commander Robinson, officers, and the Legion Post Honor Guard. Not heard or any confirmation, but another group that does a great job with Flag Day. I'm guessing that they are doing something is the St. Elks Lodge.
Okay.
They treat Flag Day like a real holiday. They have a program, ceremony, sometimes guests. I'm not sure they're doing that this year, but I know in some way they will be approaching Flag Day and maybe even celebrating it as well.
There you go.
So there we are. I understand you need a little bit of water.
I do.
Right? Okay.
That was a mouthful, Pete.
Thank you very much.
No, so thank you. We appreciate you coming up, and now get back on there and get to work.
Okay, I need to do that.
All right, of course, Pete's Morning Update always brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you buy or sell or have any real estate needs, please give Nia a call, 740-418-4135. They are working hard for you. All right, let's head on over to your weather forecast. And this is your media radio weather forecast, where you can, of course, download the app and listen to live local on your phone, no matter where you are and in the world. Honestly, that's pretty cool. So it's looking actually not too bad for this week. Today will be mostly sunny, highs around 87 degrees. For tonight, mostly clear, lows around 57. And tomorrow, a little cooler, which is okay with me. Mostly sunny with highs around 79. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, lows around 53. And then on to Wednesday, again 70s with a lot of sunshine in forecasts. So good stuff. And what, James?
Push the wrong buttons.
Oh!
Having some issues this morning.
So we are having, did you say some audio issues on the TV?
Yeah,
portion?
maybe affecting Facebook too. So I think the crew from the library aren't able to make it this morning.
Oh, okay.
And we have the video of the Jackson County Fair contest that we can play. So if there's anything else, if you want to talk about, we can end the show, and I'm going to reset some things here on the computer. And then we can launch it again to play the Queen contest, and I think that'll fix our sound issues.
Okay, so we're going to reboot everything. To do that, we need to end the show, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I think first off, we should introduce our intern, shouldn't we?
That is between you and her.
Come on over, new intern. She's going to be. Have a seat, sister. All right, and this is our new intern. So she will be Jenna, the intern. From out, and this is Jenna Smalley. If anybody, I know a lot of people know Jenna. She just got back from the beach. Did you have fun?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Jenna Smalley. I recently just graduated from Jackson High School. This fall, I will be attending Bowling Green State University to study meat production. So
Yeah, so kind of forget that she's here.
Mhm.
So are you super excited?
I definitely am.
Yeah. Yeah, but we just wanted to introduce Jenna. I mean, a few of you might remember she helped me out at the fair a couple years ago. That was fun. Yeah. Got to go up there and sweat a little bit and talk to some kids, pet some fun animals.
For sure.
It's a good thing. So what will you be doing here all summer?
Well, hopefully I get to help James a little with the show.
Mhm.
Just kind of learn the ropes of everything before I really get into it at college.
Yeah, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to learn, hands-on and have a little bit more probably knowledge and experience than some other folks when you get there. So that's a good thing. Yeah. So she'll put us out all summer, and we look forward to having you. And of course, we'll probably be making you here on the show a little bit.
That's all right.
All right. All right. So James, you want to go reset everything?
Yeah, so we're going to say goodbye, and then
Okay.
we will be back on the air in just a couple minutes with the Queen's Contest.
Queen contest. Before we get out to that, did want to thank Carman the Carman, where the deals are great. Also, our friends, the whole family at the station, the Storeway in Penn and Wellington, and Quick Stop, and folks that you might know, and Kathy Smalley
Yeah.
shop, and lots of fun stuff that they do, the custom engraving and jewelry watch repair. All of that can be done by Chip and Kathy. So they're her grandparents, in case you didn't. All right. Well, let's end the show today a little bit early. We apologize about that, but we need to reset everything, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes with the Jackson County Fair Queen Test. So we're excited about that. So you want me to button over here, James?
Yes, please.
All right. We'll be back here tomorrow, but stay tuned because we're going to play the Queen contest in just a second. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Don't forget Jackson City Council meeting tonight. If you do have a voice and you want it to be heard, considering our station and us on the air, please show up at tonight and let them know how you feel. So we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.